Hi everyone, this is Frank DeRose, bass instructor at the School of the Blues. Today we're going to do Walking the Bass, Level 3 Part 2. I'm going to show you some alternate ways to play the 2-5 pattern in a 12-bar blues. So open up the links to the tabs below and I'll get set up and you can play along with me. All right, the first example is going to be the review of the 2-5 pattern that I introduced in the previous video, Walking the Bass, Level 3, Part 1. And as a reminder, what's different about a 2-5 is what happens in measures 9 and 10. In a typical Chicago blues, measure 9 would be the 5 chord. Measure 10 would be the 4 chord. In a 2-5 jump swing blues, measure number 9 is the 2 chord. Measure 10 is the 5 chord. And I'll play a quick example of it without the recording. We're going to be in the key of G as shown on the tab in the split screen and the sample that I linked for you below. And you'll hear the sound of the up and down. Walked up to the 5 and down, and we walked ourselves into the root note of measure number 11. So we can play our measure 11 and we don't have to jump around. So now let me hit the start button here on the MP3 player, and here we go. There we go. The standard jump blues 2-5 up and down arpeggio style. Now let me get set up and I'll bring up the first alternate to this 2-5 pattern. The first alternate in the 2-5 style is what I call the up and up. So let me play it for you, right from the 2. So we're in the key of G and the A, right here at the 5th fret on the E string. We play with our little finger, that's the 2. So here's the sound of the up and up. There we are. We walked ourselves into the octave up G note, the octave higher G note for measure 11. So we invert our measure 11 arpeggio. And get us back to measure number 1. So now, let me kick off the player. I think all the volumes are right, or close enough. So here we go. First alternate 2-5, the up and up. alternate 2/5 pattern. That can be a lot of fun. In a jump blues, you can mix those two together, and your bass part sounds a little more improvised, and it can be more interesting. So here we go. I'm going to move on to the second alternate. The second alternate I call the down and down. And in the second alternate and the third alternate, we are moving our position, meaning we are playing the octave up root note of our 2. Because we're in the key of G, the 2 is our A. And so we're going to play the octave up of that A. That's the 7th fret of the D string. From there, we're going to walk down the A minor 7 arpeggio. So we're going to do A flat 7 6 5 of the A minor as written in the tab. Now we're on an E note. That's the 4 notes of measure number 9. Now, the secret is we shift with our little finger, moving 2 frets down to the D, and we continue that same fingering pattern, just like the up and down of the standard, the first example. We walked ourselves down into the low G, the root note of measure number 11. So I'll do that all again without stopping. So here we go. That shift of our hand is the real secret to playing this. So we start out with the same feeling in our hand as we did the up and down, and the up and up. And now we're going to do the down and down. And it's that shift that keeps us in the form. No tension in our fingers. It's all much easier to play. So now, let me start the MP3 track of the down and down, and you can play along with me. So we get the volume set here, and here we go. Down. The second alternate in the 2/5 style. So why don't you open up the tab for the third alternate, the final example, while I get set up. The final example in this 2/5 lesson is the down and up. So we are going to start with that same down position on this higher octave A note, the 2 note of the G major scale, and we're going to walk down. And we're going to make the same shift to the D, but we're going to walk right back up to the higher octave of the G. And then that inverts the opening sound of measure 11, but the final 3 notes of measure 11 and all the notes of measure 12 are exactly the same that we've been playing, but that 1 note difference really makes for some interest. So now let me reach down here and make sure that this MP3 player is in the right place. and we'll play the final example, the down and up. So here we go. So there you have it. 4 ways to play a 2/5 jump blues style song. So I'll be right back with some final thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed today's video where I showed you 4 different ways to play the 2/5 progression. We started with the standard 2/5 that I introduced in the previous video, Walking the Bass Level 3 Part 1. And then today I showed you 3 different alternate ways to play the 2/5. So for those of you who want to know more about different ways to play the blues, get my books. You can see them here over my shoulder. The blue one is the method book. It is the beginning. The one in the middle, the full color that shows my vintage jazz bass, is the Play-Along Trax book, where we have many full-length tracks, of which I used short snippets to do the blue book, the method book, to show you these basic building blocks, and then in the Play-Along Track book we get a chance to play full-blown songs. Then the green book is the Essential Blues Bass Grooves, where there's over 40 examples of real-world songs with the different grooves and the different bass parts. So if you want to know more about playing blues bass, I do Skype lessons. You can get in touch with me through the email in the closing credits. And if you've liked my lessons, please feel free to make a contribution through PayPal to me. No contribution is too small. So until I see you again, keep on thumping that bass. Bye for now.